morning. I hope everyone is well. We are here with Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. As you can see, I still haven't finished these things up here. I've still got things to add there. The number there, I sucked it up in my Dyson. I'll have to get another one. Anyway, love the garden. Now these little yo-yos, I added them afterwards, or Suffolk puffs. Just making sure that you can see. I might zoom you in. Not zoom you in, I'm going to pull the arm down so you can see closer. Mum had done that for her lettuces, and so Mum, I stole that idea from you. I did share it on Instagram last week, and I was going to do a strawberry patch there, but then I chose to do, I liked Mum's idea of the little mini Suffolk puffs and just squish them on there and stitch them down. So this week is the new prompt reveal, and Sarah will have done that, and it's a garden shed or greenhouse. So I'm going to do a garden shed. I've stitched down just a few more fabrics. I'm keeping I seem to have a theme going on here. I'm keeping my fabrics sort of in the greens, linens, beiges, a little bit of browns sort of thing, and that's kind of my color scheme for my background. And obviously there's a bit of work here to do, but I may work in the next prompts in there, so I'm not worried about that. I'll worry about that afterwards. And now I have to decide where what I'm going to do with my garden. I'm going to do a garden shed, and I was thinking of putting it over here, and I have cut one out. I just ripped a rectangle, folded this over like so, and then just snipped to get that more or less the same. So this is my garden shed, and I was thinking of putting it here on the opposite side to the veggie garden. I could put it up higher, then there would be a very narrow path getting in there. So I thought about here, but now I'm thinking I might put it sort of here, and this is the back. What we're seeing here is the back of the garden shed, and the front is facing out towards the veggie garden, I think. And so I'm going to put it there, is my thought, and then we'll start working on it. So I'm just going to pin it. I was thinking I might like to introduce a bit more lace, so I may just grab something that has some lace in it and add that. Don't know what's in this box. I have been doing some reorganizing. Under my table over here, which is what is my sort of where I put my stitching, I have bought transparent drawers slowly, because they're not cheap, but they're not overly expensive, but they weren't cheap either. And I put all my fabrics in there because I had fabrics in this box, these boxes on my bookshelf and things like that. So I've sort of gathered up all of my fabrics and put them into, I've color coordinated them. I'm trying to get my words out. I have color coordinated them, so they're all together in one spot. Isn't that pretty? And yeah, I pulled out all these things, and they were everywhere, and I didn't have any sort of didn't even remember I had them, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, I like that. Let's pull that out. Oh, it's a long piece. Oh, it keeps on coming. Is it wrapped on something? Probably. Oh, no, maybe not. Dearie me. There we go. Well, that's nice to know. There's a nice long piece of that. Oh, I love that one too. I'm going to pull out, because I have to audition. Those of you who know me, I need to audition things. So I do pull out a lot of things, and then I start auditioning, and I see what do I like best. I love that scrappy bit. I'm also thinking about the roof on my I'm going to say hut. It's not a hut. What is it called? It's a it's definitely not a hut. It's a shed. On my shed. Oh, I've got this. I got this. It's just ripped up linen. I bought that with my sister. I could use some of that. I haven't used any of those yet. I need to use those one day. Anyway, let's just see. This is just a miscellaneous lacy sort of box, really. Got that as well. I'm feeling a bit happier from yesterday's. It's been like about a week that I was feeling like that, but I'm feeling a bit better. Maybe talking to you guys is a bit like therapy. So let me see here. First of all, I was thinking I do want to pop in bits and pieces of lace here and there. So I thought possibly something just peekabooing from under the house would be good. I put that piece in there. That was the edge of something that, I used the embroidery on the spine of a journal. But I'm thinking here I'd still like something coming out somewhere. Maybe not that one. No. This one's quite deep. Not that one. So I'll put, I might like this. This is one of my favorite laces. It's a very scrappy piece. Snip that off. Doesn't really matter if I have things even coming right out the side. Yeah, I think I'll stitch that down. Let's pin it or lock it in. So these I did with the invisible stitch. You can see them in some places. I do not, as you know, this is a bit puffy here. I don't like that, so I will do some stitching there to keep it down. But first I want to plan out my hut. No, my shed. It's not a hut, Rachel. I have these little scraps left over. Aren't they pretty? Oh, I think they could go on as the roof. Just a minute, let's cut. Okay, so I don't want all those stringy bits. We'll just cut those off. Have a pretty roof. Oh, I think I've got my other scissors in the other room, and I've got my threads in the other room, although we're not going to be doing the threads today. We're planning the composition. We're planning it. It's a planning phase. So I'm going to cut that like so. And then I think that one's not going to be long enough for there. Oh, it could be, but it's going the wrong direction, you see. Look at that. That would be funny. Nope. Okay, so I need to put these together, I think. It doesn't matter if you make a boo-boo because they're just little scraps that most people would throw out. So I can have it going like that. No, I want those popping up. I don't want to cover too much of my veggie garden. Oh, that's perfect. That's going to be good. So that's going to be the roof. We'll pin that. And what I thought, because this is the back of my shed, I thought I can have a window there rather than a door. I need to grab my pen. Actually, I'm going to cut a rectangle for the window. Let's just see what fabrics I have here. So I've got my little basket of scraps, but I've also got a, here's something like, oh no, that would not be my window. Could have something like that. There's a smaller bit. So these seem to be a bit more sort of neutrals. It's a nice piece of fabric, that one. Here's a nice, oh, I love this linen too. Where did that one come from? I think that's a Japanese one. I'll just tap you. I'm going to keep tapping you guys just so I keep you in focus, because when I'm wiggling about in front of the camera, no, I'm going to use this one. When I'm wiggling about in front of the camera, it can go out of focus. So do a nice big window there. That's a little bit too big. just going to take that one and put that there, and I'll put all the detail into the window. And then my thought was I wanted to create just like a sort of flower box. Is that what you call them? A flower, you know, I live in Italy, so I forget words, but I want a little flower pot sort of thing here. Do I want to, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm putting it under the window so it's hanging on the wall. And do I want to, I think I might put that on with a fabric rather than embroidering it. Or I could embroider it. No, I'm not going to embroider it. I'm going to make it out of this fabric, I think. I might use the red bit. So trim, I'll leave a little bit of, I might make it deeper than what I drew. Trim it like this. So I just eyeball it. Maybe, you know, when you're eyeballing like this, just maybe be a little bit more abundant. And then you can always trim down. But you can't put it back once you've snipped it off. So always remember that. And just take the corners off because they're going to fray anyway. Okay, so that's my little basket container thing. And that is going to have flowers here. And they're going to be cascading sort of thing. Now let me think, what else might I like? I need to do some work up here as well. So maybe I'll stitch these down right now. No time like the present. And then I also feel like I might like to do a bit of cantha stitching here and there. I think I'll stitch my roof down first. I'm going to just hold those together. I'm actually just going to do an overcast stitch. I'll bring you down a bit closer. There we go. Oh, a bit crooked. Tap. Okay. So I'm just going to do like an overcast. Is kind of like going over the edge, or whip stitch sometimes it's called. So that way I'm guaranteed that those two pieces will meet at the point. I still haven't put my spade or pitchfork on. I need to do that. But I was thinking I'll put it up here, but I don't know. I just want to get my little garden shed on and then decide. Now, it might be that you're working on a really big piece and you might want to put both prompts each week in. You might have such a large space that you can include both. A glass house and a garden shed. So I'm just going to go around these. And I'll do the same stitch around the edge of the house, I think, as well. The shed, I should say. It's not a house. And it's not a hut, although it could be a hut. Because I really wanted to do a window with flowers. So I'm really pleased that it popped into my mind that could be the back of the shed or the side of the shed. Maybe the shed opens out that way. In focus, yes. Pretty simple stitch. Yeah, all of these pieces I'm just going to go around the edge like this, so because I don't need to do the invisible stitch because there's going to be stitching on them, so they won't be puffy, and this won't be puffy. This is all the stitching that's going on that, unless I decide to put a border around it. I don't know. I might decide to do that. So maybe I'll just finish this length and then pause the video and stitch around everything, and then we can come back and have a think about it. So yeah, usually when we do the prompt reveal, sometimes Sarah, I think Sassy started her vegetable garden. In fact, you know, it took me a really long time to do my video last week because I didn't start my vegetable garden. I did all the background work and planning, but I didn't start it, and there was a lot of work to do in it. But usually in my first week, I work out my composition, and then Simeon's needle. It's very long and thin. It's good for doing running stitch, cantha stitch. And yeah, so normally the background and then and the composition, and then I get into the details the next week. But we'll just see today. I might like to do a bit of cantha stitching in my background because we haven't done much of that. So I'll pause you and then I'll be back. So I'm back. And I've stitched everything down. I'm going to outline my house with a split back stitch. I don't have my blue here. I'll have to go and get it in the other room, but I'll do that next week. We'll do all of this next week. All I wanted to do now, I wanted to use this around the lace. So just do little teeny tiny stitches here. Around the lace. So I've already stitched the lace on, but this is just decorative for no reason, just because I like it. Give you a tap to make sure it's in focus. Something's happened with my threads. We were chugging along nicely and then had a little hiccup. And I'm going to jump up here. I just like the look of that. Now I might use the same thread. It's a kind of like a corally red. I don't know, it was just threaded in the needle. Hopefully I've got enough here because I'll have to try and find that thread again. I don't know which one it was. But I just wanted to go round my window box here. Not that you probably won't be able to see it so much because I'll be doing, you know, some sort of flowers draping over, but oh, now see, this is what happens. Like when I'm stitching, then the next idea comes along. I'm now thinking I'd like to use that color around the roof. So I will have to try and find it. Can't see it on that bit. Oh my goodness, I hope you're in focus. My worst nightmare. And your worst nightmare too, because it's just annoying. So I'm going to make it around my pot, I think. Okay. Right. So I've threaded up a couple of needles here and I'm just going to do a bit of stitching, running stitch. So I'll just show you that and then you can have an idea. I'm just going to do a little bit. So it'd be very blending in, which is what I want, but it just gives you a little bit of texture. Now we'll be putting other things there, but this will peekaboo. We like a bit of a peekaboo. And I don't do my rows the same length, especially when I'm doing like a little bit, like not doing a huge expanse. And what happens is when I'm doing this, I think, oh, I don't like that. I'm going crooked. My stitches are uneven. But actually just persevere, because the more rows you put in, the more it's all camouflaged and the more you like it. So I'm just going to finish the length of this thread. It's just a little bit here and there I'm going to put on. Okay, I have another colour threaded up. This is a variegated one, that one, and I'm going to do a bit more and do some more here. I think I might start here. Oh, it's very thick there, so I'm having trouble running it along, so I'll just have to stab it a little bit. I think it might go right across to there. Oh, and now another idea is popping into my head. I'm thinking across this edge I'm going to do like a loose sort of satin stitch edging on there, because I do want to combine a bit more slow stitching than you know, because we've got quite detailed floral embroidery and stuff on here creating a scene, but I do also want to have my backgrounds are really slow stitched. Well, everything's slow because it's done by hand, but it's I just do like doing this. It just, you sit there and things pop into your mind. I'll need to write them down because I'll forget. So I'm actually going to bring this colour down. I'm going to do more than what I did on the other one. I'm going to bring it down further. But I am running out of thread. So I'll probably bring it down to about here and just keep on going with that. And I think I'll come down here. And I think I'll use that same colour. I might use this. No, I'll use the same colour. I'm going to come down and do the same thing here. I might even change direction and go down that way because that's a bit puffy. I don't like that. So I think I'll stop my video here. Next week we'll have the details on here and start, you know, doing the embroidery on there. I am thinking I'm going to have a, let me just draw one, just so I'll just draw one off camera. I think I'm going to draw my little spade there. I'm going to have it just leaning up on the shed here. So coming down here. And I'll embroider that. So that's my spade there. Can hardly see it, but it is there. So that's going to be embroidered there. There might be other little things shooting up here. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen yet because it is a fly by the seat of your pants video as per usual. So I'm going to end that off and I will continue doing that. And then in the next video, details will happen. And hopefully I'll progress a bit more with the other bits I haven't finished off yet. So there we go. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to seeing what you decide to do. And I'm feeling like I need a little bit of stitching here. But yes, I will do. I don't know whether I'll do a bit of, so you can't see, a bit of stitching here where it's all a bit loose. But I'll see. But I'm doing some more detail into here. So I need to figure that out. I might start thinking about that this week. But I'm really loving it. It's so much fun. And it's just so random. And the veggie garden really stressed me out. But now I really like it. So there you go. So I hope everybody else is in the same boat, that you get stressed and then you like it. So thank you so much for watching. And I will see you again next week. Bye.